Hey everybody, it's Martha. Welcome to my Shabby Craft Studio. I'm grateful you are here. Thanks for joining me. Today, I have to plug in my phone. Sorry about that. I'll jiggle. So I've been really busy the last few days, week. What day is it? It's Tuesday. And I think it's June 15th. Anyway, I've been really busy the last week. We've been trying to organize our home and to just make things simpler and downsize. So I've been really busy doing that. And I've been really busy with organizing my craft room because I have taken out almost everything that has anything to do with making journals. Now, I know a lot of you follow me because I was making journals and all that other stuff, but I found I was not getting pleasure out of it anymore. So I've removed almost everything. I still have some things that I need to box up. I haven't gotten rid of it. It's all in boxes. And eventually, I'm going to give it 6 months probably, and then decide if I'm going to keep it or how I'm going to distribute it, get rid of it, dispose of it, whatever it is I'm going to do. Meanwhile, I've really been getting into sewing. I've been watching Ariane Zurcher, and I've been, of course, watching Anne Brooke. But I have not kept up with the challenges. That is something I want to pick up again. It's just life got interrupted by some things, and I had a difficult time handling it. And all that being said, things are better. They're not 100% back to normal, but it did make us realize that we probably need to make some changes in the near future. We're just undecided what that's going to consist of. So, anywho's, I have some things I want to show you. This is the blue wall hanging, of course, and I'm still working on it. It's been a very slow process, but I've been enjoying that because it really doesn't need to be rushed. I hope if you're sewing along, you will either give me a link to your YouTube, Instagram, if you have photos somewhere, share them with me. This was, I have a lot of things laying around. Oops, sorry. Okay. This was the latest thing I did. I found this fabric, which I got, I believe, in a package from Floshy May Designs, or Floshy May. She's Floshy May Designs on Etsy. And Robin, who is a longtime supporter and friend of mine now, she's been buying stuff from Floshy May too. Sorry, Robin. It's addictive. You get such pretty stuff from her. So I took a piece of this, and I had the perfect variegated thread to go. I'll show you, because this is what the flowers look like. Oh my goodness gracious. Grace is not my middle name today. This is what the flowers look like on that. Put a little more light on it. And I thought this thread was perfect. So I did 3 strands, and I did the flowers in the strands, and I think it came out pretty nice. Anyway, lots of bits. I have bits laying around. All right, so there's that. The other thing that I've been doing, watching Ariane and Anne Brooke, is expanding on my threads a little bit and expanding on needles. So both Ariane and Anne's latest tag, I can't remember what week she's on. It's halfway through the year, so it's got to be somewhere around 26, 27. So she uses this like a doll needle, and she does needle tatting, which looks kind of fun to me. It's something I could just take threads with me, probably a spool of thread, something along this line, or even something thicker, because you want something in between, like maybe a size 3 if you were using, I'm trying to think of the name. Oh, my brain, it's just not awake today. Anyway, like oh my gosh, Martha, an embroidery thread in a size 3, like this. New box. This is size 5, and even this isn't really thick enough, and I'm not sure if a 3 would be thick enough either. My screen is really dark to me when I'm looking into it, so it's hard for me to do this. I think, I haven't looked yet, I think there's a thing called tatting thread, and it's probably just the right consistency. A string, a thin string would also be good, but you don't want it to separate. You want it to be twisted pretty tight. So I have some more research to do. Anyway, if you used like one of these threads that I just showed you, or on the cone, that would be fine. You're going to have to use a lot of stitches, and these longer doll needles are going to come handy for that. The other thing these come in handy for is really long bullion stitches. So I'm going to be playing with that. So I did get those needles. Now, I ordered needles on Amazon, but they've been delayed in getting here, and I don't know if we're going to get them. Tony and I ordered something a few months ago, and it ended up never arriving, and they said, if it hasn't arrived by this date, we're canceling the order, or you can cancel the order or whatever. So we just canceled it, and we just called it a day. We just didn't get it. And these were actually cheaper in Hobby Lobby, $3.99. This stuff was not on sale, but like every other or every second week, every other week or second or third week, Sewology goes on sale. But I wanted them, I found them, and they were in the sewing section of Hobby Lobby. So I bought this package, which actually I think is cheaper than the package I bought on Amazon. Fine with me. Alrighty. And the other thing I had to buy was more bobbins to wind my thread onto, and I had to buy a whole new box to put my threads in. Now, these are my size 5s. This is not DMC, these colors here, but I also found these, I believe, in Hobby Lobby. They don't have them in my Hobby Lobby anymore at the moment. They're Prism, and they come in a package of like 6 balls, and each ball has a color of variegated thread on it. If you don't know, I am like a huge variegated thread fan. So I moved all of my variegated embroidery floss over here. This goes in here. And so I put all my embroidery floss that's variegated over here, and I still don't think that's enough, because if it was up to me, all I would stitch with was variegated thread. And then this is the Prism. This is some DMC floss that I'm building up my stash of, and that's a size 5 as well. And this is some sari silk that I dyed with just my Distress inks. And this is some string that I dyed with Distress inks, and it's string, so I can actually pull the strands apart. So I might try tatting with this, but I don't know if I have enough there. And this is some more string, and I think this is a different string that I have. I can't remember what that is. I don't know. I was just pulling stuff one day and just played with my inks. Now I did go buy some Rit dye, and I want to do some ice dyeing, but I want to throw some string, and I have a very fine wool downstairs. I don't know if the ice dyeing will work on that. I do have dye down in the basement. It's quite old. I don't know if it still work, but I have dye down there that would dye wool. Wool and cotton dyed with different dyes. You have to use 2 completely different dye setups for those. So the other thing I did was not this past weekend, but the weekend before this past weekend, I took classes with Ariane to make Dorsey buttons. Now these are buttons that I made, I think I made most of these before the class. So I did that. This one I think I did before the class. I can't remember. Still getting used to my camera being on this side of my phone and not that side, because when I upload it to YouTube, it uploads upside down if I turn my camera the other way. So like 2 years I've been filming with my camera on that side of my phone. My phone sits like this in the holder, and the last few videos when I uploaded them, they were upside down on YouTube. So I think I did, let me get more light over here. All right, I think I did this one during or after the class. I did do quite a few of these after the class because during the class I was struggling to keep up. Now these are called drizzles. It's like a bullion stitch, but you don't tie it back down when you're done, and they are so much fun. Look at that. Can't wait to do those again. I did this one during the class, and so those are cherry blossoms, supposedly. So that was fun, and I definitely want to make more of these. This one I wrapped in sari silk, and then these are more drizzles. And that one I got a bead on, but I couldn't get beads on any of the rest of them because the holes in the beads were too small. So that's what that one looks like. And then there's this one. And I was the only one who had any t-shirt material prepared. So she showed how she did hers, Ariane that is, real quick. And then that's what I made. So these are just French knots. And then I put these all around, and I thought that was kind of cute. Very pastel, but kind of cute. This is a ribbon yarn that I have, and I don't have very much of it, so it was like pink and yellow and blue, kind of baby colors. So when I dyed my t-shirt, I actually had to go buy a t-shirt to dye because I didn't have any white t-shirts here. Tony didn't have any left from his old army days, and he doesn't wear white t-shirts anymore, so there's that. I think that's the dyed side. And some of these I've already torn into strips. So, and I used some of them, of course. But see, when you tear them, they curl up. So there's those. And then these little pieces. And all you do is tear them up. And I dyed all these with distress inks. And I didn't even use any sprays on these. I want to do some with sprays. And then these are some bits that I have. So I just have like a bit box over here with various bits in it. And this is where I'm going to keep my little t-shirts in the photo box. So there's that. Then I've had beads around for a long time, but a few years ago, probably 4 years ago, I got into making flute wraps. Tony and I play the Native American flute sometimes. We haven't played them in a while. And I was making wraps, beaded wraps. So I had a little bead loom, and I would just spend hours beading back and forth. So I have a lot of size 11 and size 8 seed beads. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move you up a little bit. So close your eyes. Okay, I think that'll work. And I had these trays on hand because I use them in my house, in the kitchen, and I also use them in the van. So I had, well, let me show you this. I'm going to show you this first. This is the bag of all of the tubes that I had of beads. This is all the tubes of beads that I had, right? Oop. This go flying all over. And you can see they're unruly. They're roly-poly, they're round, just like beads, and they're kind of annoying. So I had these tubes in all different sizes. I did have some in bags. And my bigger beads I had in weird containers. They came in all kinds of containers. So these are my size 8s. Let's see, what is this? These are 8s, I think. So those are all my size 8s. This is my odd beads. So these are different sizes from different places that I can use. Just different, you know, different beads. And then these are my size 11s. So all of those tubes, these are 11s. And 11s are really tiny. And this is just an extra bag, an extra tray of extra things that came upstairs with me, different beads. So these are all my 11s. These are my 8s. These are my like fancy beads. And this is another tray of the fancy beads. So I got all those tubes in all these bags. And this is the bag I used. And I can actually put 2 tubes, the long tubes, those long tubes that, like this. 2 of these tubes fit in one of these bags and I can still close it. And this is the last bag I had left. Now, I'm sure I have extra beads flying around downstairs somewhere. And I'll show you what I'm keeping them in just a second here. Whee! So I was trying to keep them in a photo box, but I couldn't get them all in there. So this tray, which is very flexible, and I still have room in it down here if I had to put something else in there. Maybe not in one of these trays. I can't fit another tray down there with these laying this way, but there is room for other stuff down there. If I wanted to take this whole tray somewhere and pack more stuff in it in order to have these to play with. I probably wouldn't take all of these beads anywhere with me, but at least I can pick it up, carry it around, put it up when I'm not using it somewhere that I don't, you know, it's out of my way. Gonna move you, close your eyes. Okay. Okay, you're back. Sorry about that. So that's what I've been up to. I spent like 2 days doing the beads and shopping for things. Now I did go to Hobby Lobby and I bought a little plastic box. It was bigger than this, but it was similar to this. And it had all these little plastic containers inside. And I'd seen on Pinterest where people absolutely loved doing that as an idea to keep their beads in. However, and the boxes are cheap. They're $6 each, and they come with 24 little boxes inside. And you could fit a tube of beads in there, maybe a tube and a half, not much more. However, not all of the little boxes would click shut all the time, and it was very flimsy. That little latch, little plastic latch that you click it shut with, it was very similar to this here. So when you did that, but it wasn't near, it was only like, that's how big the latch was on the little box. Like just that part right there was as big, and it wasn't holding. And I got to the second box of them, and in my brain, in my intuition kept saying, this isn't going to work. These are going to fly open. You're going to have little tiny seed beads everywhere. So yeah, I didn't do it. I took them back. Took them back. Because I knew I was going to run into trouble. So I now have 3 embroidery boxes full of threads, but I'm very, very tempted to buy some Steph Francis threads because I think they're really pretty. Now, I want to put some beads in the middle of these flowers. However, I am not sure I can use the 11s because I don't think I have a needle up here that'll go through an 11. I'll try it. I would like to have like an orangey, maybe to go in there as well, but I don't know if I have an orange in an 11 either. So, no I don't. So maybe we'll just not fight with that, and we'll go ahead and do the, oh, those are 11s too. I have the sizes mixed up in the tray, but that's okay. Easily moved around, right? Let's see what I've got in here. I don't want to do copper because they'd be too, I don't know, it just doesn't match to me. So I have yellow, not very many in the, and I have this. No. And some of them, like these little tubes, I just kept those in there because I was running out of bags, and these are all the same the same bead. And I have a ton of black, shiny black beads. So yeah, some I just opted to either keep the little bag that the things came in, like these came in this bag. These are check beads. So I just opted to keep that bag in there because, again, I was running out of the little bags. But the consistency makes me happy. I will admit I'm a little OCD. In case nobody knew that. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if I can find a needle that will go through these beads. I think that needle will. I don't have any really proper beading needles, I don't think. Although, yes, I have 2 needle books. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I'm just a loon that way. So, I think that's going to be my best bet. Unless I use a little tiny one, but then, of course, I do have to pick a thread to use too. So if that one doesn't work, that one will. Okay. Alrighty. Thread. Oh my gosh. I have to find thread. I didn't prepare. Sorry, guys. Okay. Ooh. I have to reach over you. Oh no, that's not gonna work. Now I'm reaching under you. Oh dear. Somebody said in one of my last videos they couldn't hear me, and I apologize for that. I get mumbly when I'm doing this stuff. Now, that's white in there. White and pink. But I don't like the white and pink. I like the idea of the yellow and orange. So I'm going to gently, that's the only thing with these little bags, is I'm afraid things are going to go flying or too many will come out. So you have to be really careful. And as you can tell from this, I gave up on getting the Elizabeth Ward bead storage container because I just cannot, I don't know why I can't justify it, but 48, it was fluctuating between $39 and $52 on Amazon. And I can't find them anywhere else. And if you can, they're still, you know, $47. Right now, I think on Amazon, it's sitting at $47. But, I don't know. This is more compact for me, really. So I think I should just stick with this and see how it goes. Yes, those bags can rip. Yes, the bags can be kind of flimsy. And yes, I put all my scissors away. I put everything away, but I kept these little embroidery scissors out. So, oops. Such a fine thread. I'm just going to go with the smaller needle if I can get it threaded here. Okay. So, wow, I'm already almost 25 minutes in. Woo-wee. I'm going to put a good knot in the end, probably double that. It's not a bad day here. We had a horrendous thunderstorm last night. It didn't last long, but it was loud at 1:10 a.m. And as Susan knows, I was messaging with her at that point in time because for her, it was like 6:10 a.m. in the UK. So, are these going to be too big? Those are going to be too big. They're going to be too big. So, I'm going back to try. Since I found this tiny needle. Oh, shoot, Martha. Why did you do that? I don't know. Conversations with Martha. Could you use these? Those might be pretty. I'm going to try these. I don't know. We'll see. I just got to get these out of the way. And I have, you know, somewhere I have all the little bead trays and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I find the more things that I have, the less happy I am lately. I'm having a heck of a time trying to get rid of stuff in my basement. I have tons of wool, but I've seen Ariane use locks, like sheep locks, in her work, and I have some of those down there, so I won't be getting rid of those. But I have wool that needs to be spun into yarn. That's what you do with wool. You spin it in yarn. And I'm not going to spin anymore. I have gotten rid of my loom, my big loom. I still have a small loom. And stupidly, I sold all of my cotton. I should have kept some of it because I didn't realize I was going to get into this slow stitching stuff. And I could have used some of that cotton. It was size 8 and size, I think I had a few size 6. All right, Martha, figure out where you are. And yeah, so I could have used that. Let's see if this, I did this and I didn't even check to see. Nope, I won't go over that needle. Darn. Oh, Martha, you didn't prepare well, girly. I don't know if it'll go over this needle. I don't have proper beading needle up here. All that stuff is in the basement. That might work. Whoa, no. Well, I just lost my needle in the rug. I'll have to find that when I get done. If you don't know, I have a shag rug on my floor in this room. Hate it, but it's nice in the winter. Because if I had a wood floor, it would be very cold. So when you have a shag rug, like I probably have at least 20 beads that I lost when I was transferring them. Because I don't have a bead funnel. So when I was transferring them into the little boxes and decided it wasn't going to work, I had to take them out. Now I'm going to put 2 beads on here at a time because these are so teeny tiny. I don't know why I didn't see these beads to begin with, but man, these are going to be pretty in here. And then, Lordy, I can barely see. Can you see? Okay. I don't know if you can see or not. I won't be able to tell until I watch it back. I hope you can see. And I hope my big hands don't get... Well, I don't have big hands, but I have chubby hands. So I'm going to go back. Boy, I need a magnifying glass. I'm going to go back through these beads, if I can find it. Just to make sure that they have a double thread in them. Stick it back down. And this gray thread, you can't even see it on these, hardly. I mean, you can a little bit. But I'm going to put... Oops. Oh, Martha, you did not do that. I did do that. Darn it, don't lose this needle. I do that all the time. I forget that I'm on the bottom and I should be on the top before I do it. Yeah. All that stuff. Don't do what I do. Do as I say. Okay. Back up. There's that bead. Back down. I'm only going to double secure every other bead. I don't like that you can see the thread now. Oh, well. That's because I'm looking at it so close. You wouldn't be able to tell from far away. Or even really that up close if you were looking. Is there a bead on there? Yes. Lord, oh, I did it again. No. I did it again. Yeah, like I said, don't do as I do. Oh no. As much light as I have on this, I'm still struggling for seeing. Oh, come back here. So the people next door that have been here, I think they've probably been here 3 years. The man that lived next door. All right, why are you not cooperating with me? The man that lived next door when we moved in passed away about a year after we moved in, and then the house was up for sale for a while because his kids were trying to be greedy and had it on the market for way too much. Then this family bought it. It was an older gentleman, his wife, and her, this was, I guess, at least her second marriage, her son. So it was his stepson. They all moved in, and they had a little girl. And so they all moved in, and the basement was a fully finished basement with like a kitchen, bedroom, you know. It's all finished and pretty and everything. Now our basement is finished, except we do have an unfinished area in the basement. And it does have a 220 outlet in there, so a stove could be put in there, a stove oven kind of combo thing. But that area would have to be finished off. It's also where the furnace and the hot water heater and all that is. Oops, nope, come back up, Martha. Come up, come up, come up, come up. Oh, these are going to be pretty because they're shiny. I hope I'm still in frame because I have to keep moving it closer to me. I'm sorry if I went out of frame so I can see. Yeah, so they moved in, and they're nice, but the little girl is obnoxiously loud and whiny. And so anyway, they've had a second child, and the baby is, if you guys ever watched Big Bang Theory, the baby that, I can't remember his name, the nerdy guy and his, well, they're all nerdy guys, and his wife had, sounds just like what his mother sounded like on the show, you know, that really cackly voice. Yeah. So, that's what this baby sounds like. When it cries, it has a really, ow, cackly voice. It's very strange. Ow, man, this is not making me happy. What am I doing? I'm trying to get this to stick down. Okay. All right. I don't know if you can see that. It's pretty, oh, the sun is disappearing. It just got darker in here, regardless of the fact that I have two very bright LED lights on. So, anywho's, and their backyard is usually a real mess. It's not kept very well. So, they put their house on the market on Saturday. And, yeah, they had something like 10 people come look at it Saturday, and they got an offer within, I don't know, an hour of it being on the market. And, they really put it on the market like, we're in touch with a real estate agent ourselves, just thinking things through, possibilities. And so our real estate agent emailed us and said, I don't understand why they put this on the market for such a low price. I mean, homes are going for way more than what they did 2 years ago, you know, 3 years ago. We bought our house 5 years ago. Way more, like way more. And so it's, they really did lowball the house for what it has in it. So that would ruin our chances of getting more for our house, which we were told we could get more than they're selling theirs for. And theirs is more finished than ours. Oops. So anyway, our thoughts are that, well, mine especially, I'd really like to downsize into a smaller home, easier to care for, closer to the city, because after what we went through with Tony hurting himself and barely being able to walk, and, you know, doctor's appointments being far away for us. Like, I think a half hour is a long way to drive to get to the doctor if something's going on with you. And if something happened to Tony and I was left alone, I don't want to be as far away from everything as we are. Selfishly. So, we've been looking. So the good news is it's a seller's market. We could probably sell the house in a day. The bad news is these people next door, they have somewhere to go. They're moving to North Carolina because his mom, the young guy's mom, retired, and they have a home in North Carolina, and that's where they want to go. I'm out of frame again. Sorry. I apologize. I heard you yelling at me. Can't see you. So, yeah. That's the good news. The bad news, the bad news is they're selling their house. They listed it for way less than they should have. Probably at least $25,000 less than they should have. Almost $50,000 less than they should have. They could have probably got, They probably could have gotten $50,000 more. Maybe they listed it low so they'd get a bidding war. I don't know. We don't know. We don't talk to him that much, but Tony talked to him the other day and just asked him, you selling the house? Because all these people were going in and out of the house, so we figured that's what was going on. And so, I keep catching it on the corner of that. So, yeah. So the good news is we could probably sell in a day. Because our house isn't bad, but it's just not as updated as theirs is. The bad news is we probably wouldn't get as much as the real estate agent originally told us we could probably get because they lowballed their house next door. And even though a house down the street sold for over $425,000 and it was about the same size as ours, it too was more updated than ours. Not that we live, in a dump, but it is more, the kitchen is older and the bathroom's a little older looking, a little dated, as they say in the market. But then I'm looking at a specific neighborhood, a 55 plus neighborhood, and the homes in this particular neighborhood only come available. That bead's gone, unless it's in my lap, and I'll still never find it because shag rug. Yeah, so the neighborhood I'm looking in is definitely, the homes don't come open as often, maybe 2 or 3 a year, and there's already been 3 on the market, and they go in a day too, and they're selling for much higher than they did a year ago. So you got to be ready to be able to put an offer in, pre-approved, blah, 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 blah. So it's a catch-22. Now, the good news is we do have the van we could move into if we had to. We don't want to, though. We don't know that we'd want to move into the van over the summer when it's hot. It's nearly impossible to find any place to put an RV, campgrounds, etc., especially here on the East Coast, on a weekend. Like, weekends everywhere are totally booked. And I have one friend I could probably park in her driveway in her backyard and plug in, to 30 amp, but that'd be a lot to ask someone. So I don't know. It'd be a good idea for us to do it. And another house in our price range and the size we want in that neighborhood might not come open until next year. And we're just not prepared to live in the van for a year. So it's a conundrum. And I wouldn't want to take something, we don't want to live in an apartment and sign a contract for a year and then in 3 months find a house. So yeah, it's a real conundrum as to, I'm going to back you out a little bit because I can't seem to stay in frame. So, yeah. Oops. Martha, go up. Go up. Oh, look, I went right through the hole. So I can anchor that thread again. And then go back up. Don't go through the hole again. See, these beads were meant to be. Because I didn't see them the first time. But I saw them the second time. That's a fan I have going in the background. I have a small fan sitting in front of the air conditioner vent because it gets warm in this room. Very, very warm. So yeah, and moving is a big thing. I mean, I've moved a lot in our marriage because Tony was in the Army for 21 years. And we moved out of government quarters into a townhouse. After he got out of the Army, we moved out of the townhouse onto the farm down here in this part of Virginia. And then we moved from the farm because I felt like it was just way too isolated for me. It was further away from everything than we are now. And so we moved from the farm to this house, but this isn't where I wanted to really live. I wanted to move to a 55 plus 5 years ago when we were 60. Now we're 65. So yeah, so we're still kicking around that idea. And unfortunately, we'd probably give up the van. But I have to be honest, it's just been as much as I like to travel, I can't see anymore. Too much close up for me. Geez, I'm going to have to get some glasses. I think I have an eye doctor appointment this week. Or maybe it's next week. No, it's next week. It got changed from last Friday. They called me and said they were down a tech, and I don't know if they quit or they got sick or what. And they were just swamped with appointments because everybody's going back to appointments now. And they moved me out 2 weeks. So, yeah. Anywho's. And that's a follow-up to the cataract surgery I had, year and a half ago? Didn't have the follow-up I was supposed to have because COVID. Ow. So, anywho's, there's that. We have talked about traveling, but honest to goodness, we've looked for RV parks, campsites, whatever you want to call them. We can't find anything. We can find weekday places to stay. We can't find weekend places to stay. So if we were, say, headed to New England, that came out really pretty. Can you see that? Oh, turn on the light again. I hope you can see the beads. It's very shadowy in here. I don't know why. But we can't find anything for weekends. So where are you going to go on a weekend if you're not even in, near your home? So traveling is probably something that's going to go by the wayside. And whether we move or not, we don't know. And we just don't know. There. I'm very happy with that. Now I have to decide what's going to go over here. But it is 44 minutes in. Let's see. I'm here. Don't leave me. I did find that these little caps that come on the tubes, they're handy to keep around because you can use them as a mini scooper. So I can put these beads away before they go flying everywhere. I only lost one. That's pretty special. I did lose a needle though. I gotta remember to look for the needle so I don't step on it, and Evan doesn't step on it. So, and that's the other thing. Evan's getting older. He turns 14 in October, I think. And isn't that terrible? I don't remember when poor Evan's birthday is. And, you know, even though he's a good traveler, he's picked up some behaviors, and he's not seeing as well. He's not hearing as well. He's very, very clingy. And although he's always been a good traveler and not really, I mean, he's always been excited about being somewhere new and different, he stresses a little more in the van now. Does a lot of panting that he didn't do before. And I think it's because he gets a little nervous being out of his element, which is out of the house. So I don't know. I just think the last 4 years that we've had a van, traveling has been really tough. Like, there's always been some reason that we either haven't been able to travel, or when we have traveled, things haven't gone as smoothly. And I'm not even sure the van is the right RV for us anymore. So, that plus the RV parks have gotten really expensive. Like, they definitely are playing off of supply and demand. So, there's that too. All right, these are 8s. I'm going to put these in the 8 box. And these are 11s, so they are going in the 11 box. And I'm keeping organized. I think I'll just keep that out. So, we have time. I'm trying to think. Is there anywhere I want to do really long bullion knots? I should have put this on before I did that flower. But I could put it right there. Could put that right there and then just cut the excess off when I get to it. Thread. All right, I'm gonna put the beads down, sorry. And I think, so I want to do this. Okay. That's bright. I don't know if that's a piece of fabric I want. I had thought about this. And I had also thought about this, which is kind of, it's got a pattern, but it's almost more calming to the eye. Or there was one other piece that I had thought about, looking in my little stack here. Oh, now I can't find it. I had a white eyelet that I considered, but I think, I don't know. I think because this is supposed to be blue, I want to stick with a more blue. Baloo. Okay. Maybe. Not making me happy. Not happy at all. It's got to be something that, all this thread I have, and I don't have anything that I'm really happy with. Isn't that sad? Maybe I'll go with that. We'll give it a shot. Give it a shot. We shall. All right. Play with a new needle. These are going to have to go in my very long needle book. I mean, they might fit crosswise in my other needle, in my little needle book. So you need a lot of thread. If you want to make a really long bullion trendle. Trendle? Tendril. Oops. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we get here. And I need a lot of practice with my bullion stitches. Come on, Martha. My eyes are straining at this point. Okay. Ooh, yikes. Things went flying. Sorry about that. Move this over a little. This thing could be deadly. I could see me being very dangerous with this because it is quite sharp. All right, I think I need to put a pin just to be on the safe side. The safe side. All right, I'm just gonna put that. Okay, I have a question for all of you people who know about sewing and needles much more than I do. I mean, I've been sewing a long time, but I'm not very studied on it all. What's the best thing to put in a pin cushion or to sharpen your pins with? That's what I need to know. All right, let's see. I have to think. I always get confused on this part. If I go down and up that way, this might not work out the way I want it to. I always get a little discombobulated in my brain about direction, which is why I don't drive a lot of places alone. If it's not somewhere I know. Okay. Come on, I don't want you in there. It's like a piece of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Come on. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Okay. Now see, that's not going to work. So what I need to do, I think, is I need to go, I want it to be really long. So I'm going to go to the bottom. So my wraps have to be at least that long, right? Okay. I don't know if that's right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. Is that, oops, 51, I'll do 60. 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. All right, and then I set it down on my mat. You want all of these to come down. I hope that's enough. If not, we shall see. And then I just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle to get them off the needle. There they go. And you don't wrap them really, really tight because you do want to get it over that needle, over the eye. I think this has to go under there. All right, I kind of twisted it over the top. Okay, let's see if this worked. If not, good reason to go buy more thread, right? Not like I need a reason. And then you can kind of, oh no, I don't want that there. Let's see. Now I know you don't know what I'm doing because I keep crossing my threads, but I think I crossed my thread the wrong way. Yeah. Oh. See, I don't want that to keep twisting around there. Why does it keep doing that? I don't want that to show. Okay. Well, 60 was just barely enough. I don't know if I can put that under there again and get that to not twist around the front. See, my bullion stitches need some work. This thread, the long thread that's always left behind, kind of confounds me. I don't know why it does that. But anyway, all right. Now that needs to go to the top up there. And pull. Yeah, see? So I have that thread left and I don't know why. So I'm going to tack that down sort of, kind of. My husband is making cookies for Evan and they're made out of pumpkin, and boy, it's not one of my favorite things, so. All right, how much time do we have? I'm almost at an hour. All right, so the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up. Whee! And then I'm going to take the thread out. No! And then we're going to do one more thing. So this is where the mat, the wool mat, comes in handy. This might take me a while, so if you're tired of watching me, I understand. This is a cast on, and I'm going to do a drizzle stitch. This is so much easier with a long needle. I did mine with a really short needle during the class, and it was like, whoosh. Now this is a size 5 DMC thread. I don't know, maybe it's a tapestry thread, I don't know. But I got it in Michael's. Michael's here has a pretty good supply of now if I had a bead I wanted to stick on here, I would do it somewhere in the middle. I don't know if I have a blue bead that would. And Ariane sticks like her bead on the thread, but I had actually, I had stuck one on the needle and it worked. Let's see if any of these will go over the needle. I don't think they will. Ooh, it does. Well, let's see how this goes. Come on. I don't know what this is going to look like. Might get cut off. Who knows? And the butterfly might be upside down when I get done. Oh, I'm thinking it might be. Let me think this through. Yeah, I think that's going to be upside down. Can I get these off? Oh, bear with me, please. I know this is going to be more than an hour, and it probably was not very exciting, especially the beading part. I think I have to put the butterfly. See, if you have a regular bead, it doesn't matter which way, which direction it goes in, right? Oopsies. Don't come out of the thread, out of the wool. All right, come on. Only a few more. Don't come out of the wool. I'm gonna lose it all right now. Oh no. Come on. I gotta get you out of there. So if you knit or crochet, this is just a half hitch. That's how you get it. Here, let's use this. It's just a loop over the thread, and actually if you're watching the tatting, you know, you're kind of making a half hitch there too. So if you think something looks complicated, break it down into steps, and it's a lot easier to figure out then. Oh, come on. 2 more. My eyes are watering. Okay, that's a little better. I usually have the shades and the drapes open, but it gets so stinking warm in here, even though it's not a hot day out today. Well, it's warm. I think it's going to be in the 80s. And that thunderstorm created a lot of rain last night. Oh, come on, one more. And with all the trees around here, there, I think that'll work. I think that'll work. All right, bear with me. So it's like a rainforest out there right now. Tony's like, oh, it's such a pretty day. I'm like, no, it's warm and it's humid. Give me a winter day anytime. I'd rather put clothes on than have to think that I'd want to take my clothes off. Because, you know, we don't want to scare anybody, right? Okay, so again, this is called a drizzle stitch, and I've only done it a few times. So this is a practice for me. Hopefully it'll come out right. Oopsies. And your thread does get twisted, so I kind of try to untwist it. Okay, I'm going to call that good. Let's see. Nah, we'll do a few more. Why not? Get it? Why not? Oops. Okay. All right. Oops. You're not supposed to be down there. You're supposed to be up here at the top. Okay. And again, I didn't make them really, really tight because and this is why it's important to have an eye you can get your thread through. All right, let's see. All right, fingers crossed, everybody. Fingers crossed. Let's see if I can do this. So you want to pull, pull, pull. Oops. Long needle. Whoa, pull, pull, pull. Get it unwrapped from the buttons up at the top. Okay. All right. And there's my drizzle stitch. And yes, you can see the thread that's wrapped around there. And if I wanted to, I could tack it down. But look at that. See how twisty and fun that is? Look. And it hangs loose. But you could tack it down if you wanted to. See, now I'm going to come up here. Come up here. And I'm just going to like tack the top down a little bit better. See that needle coming at your eyes? It's scary. Now that I don't wear glasses anymore, it's like things keep flying into my eyes. I've been wearing glasses since I was 10. Oh, I love that. Look at how twisty and fun that is. I'll take that out of there. Look how twisty and fun that is. And like I said, I could tack that down at the bottom, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave that to hang. Yes. Well, on that note, I'm probably going to put another bullion on the other side of that, and maybe one more drizzle stitch on the other side of that. But that's where I'm going to leave you off, because we're over an hour by 4 minutes. So thank you so much for being with me. I love you all. I hope this video turns out okay, because this was fun. Thanks for joining me, and I'll be back soon. I hope to get in more of a pattern of doing more of these. And I claim not to be any kind of expert. I'm learning. So I'm having fun with that. I like to learn new things, and it's been fun to watch others and follow others. Susan Langford at Susie Q Makes is really good at figuring things out. Of course, Ariane Zurcher and Anne Brooke are both left-handed, and I'm a right-handed, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. It's usually pretty easy to figure out. If you can't, you find the stitch that somebody else has taught you to do on YouTube. So that's it for me for now. Thanks again. Love you all. Happy crafting. Bye-bye.